Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port here on a Thursday, day one of the Travelers Championship, Cromwell, Connecticut. And I was just thinking too, Tony, I wish we could go, but also like, because from being there last year, it was so hot. Weather's the same. It's like we were talking about the schedule yesterday. It's like it would be nice if they could switch that up where it wouldn't be so hot, because it was a scorcher last year, and I think it'll be even hotter this yeyear if that's possible.
Yeah, I think it's gonna reach 90 today. They said 100 this weekend, dude. So it definitely would be an absolute just sweat storm over there.
Because that part aside, I do believe you would like really enjoy it.
Oh yeah, I feel like even with if we were to go this weekend, even I definitely would enjoy it a lot. Try to stay, find some shaded area maybe, but nonetheless, dude, I mean, I think it'd be a great time to go.
Oh, yeah. And the only thing that I thought was a little annoying, and I know it's just one of those things that I think it's the number one attended event on tour or close to that, is the concession lines were so long. Like we're talking like at least 15, 20 minutes every time you're trying to get a beer or something.
Wait, so the Travelers is number one?
I think so,
attended PGA
just because,
event.
I mean, there's nothing else around ever. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like everybody kind of takes advantage of that opportunity.
Are the prices at these concessions kind of
I think it's just what you see at sporting events.
$12, $14 for a beer.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. It all blends together at this point, right?
Yeah, no, really, dude. It's actually funny, dude. I saw yesterday, maybe Barstool, I think, put out a post of how much each beer costs at ballparks.
Yes. Yeah, Yankees weren't the highest. Or wait, no, but was that? Or I think they
no, it was football. Yeah,
Giants. The Jets and the Giants weren't the highest.
I think the Bengals were like the least, like $6.75.
Yeah, which
crazy. Is so sick, dude. Imagine going to Cincinnati, like a competitive team too.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. That's pretty cool.
But a bunch to get to. But also just wanted to thank everybody for making my birthday yesterday so special. It was funny. It all came in waves. Like you guys started out early. The hat's great. Really pumped about
dude.
that. The donuts were amazing. The coffee. So I really appreciated that. And then the golf at Gaynor Brennan. Shout out to Pooch, Benny, and Ree. They paid for my round, so I really appreciate that.
Dude.
Had a great time there. Want to talk about that in a second, and then had a great dinner and night with Sam, Blackstone's funfetti cake, a lot of good gifts, and I am so mad at myself. I told you before I was delayed getting here because a truck was blocking me. So I'm like scrambling all over the place. After this, we got to drop our truck off at the garage because the AC is broken. And so part of my gifts from Sam, I got finally, and it's a shame because I feel like, if I had to guess, like maybe I'm wrong, but if I had to guess, especially because his boy, Dan Grass, is on, I don't think Lonnie's in the building right now, but I did finally get the Anthony Volpe jersey. No name on the back.
Wow,
and I went with Volpe because I figure he's the youngest. It makes sense. And I'm a big fan of him, obviously. Yeah. So I was going to wear that, but I will wear it to the game tonight. So that was great. I also got, which is dope, and I was going to wear it too. I just wasn't sure how it would work with the headphones, but like the bucket hats, like Mike has one and Matthew has one. So I got one of those, but it says, I just was looking it up and it came up and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And it's kind of funny with everything that happened with Scotty. It's like a remembrance of it.
Yeah.
It says PGA 24 Valhalla on it.
Oh,
white bucket hat. So pumped for that for golf. I got like those polarized sunglasses, like with the different colors. I never have sunglasses. You probably have never seen me wear sunglasses. Maybe once when we all wore sunglasses on an episode. I think that was it.
Oh yeah, literally.
So yeah, got that. Got a Yankee polo as well. Another pair of golf shoes, which I always could use. So that stuff was great. Golf Galaxy gift card. a bunch of stuff. So really was just an amazing day. And, I really appreciate everybody, who made it so special.
Have it all.
No, honestly, it was all I could ask for. Oh, and
That's
then
awesome,
to top it
dude.
off, I'll have to shout out John. So yesterday, and he had kind of teased this because his dad, through work, I think it's his dad's boss, has season tickets to the Yankees. So he was kind of teasing this. So I am actually going back to back. So going today, going to the game tomorrow night as well against Atlanta.
Dude.
Chris Sale versus Carlos Rodon.
That's gonna be a sick matchup, dude. The Braves. Let's freaking go.
Yeah, so really excited for that. Really excited for the game today, which is awesome. And then just wanted to mention my round yesterday. It was funny. Later at night, Domac messaged me on Instagram, just saying happy birthday and talking about his golf round recently, 54 through 9. He was tight, this and that. And I was like, oh, yeah, I was round because yesterday went first time all season, back-to-back round in the 80s, just slid in there with an 89, parred the last 2 holes.
Nice,
and,
dude.
it really, though, made me feel like I just need to get a lesson just because my putting again was like really good,
right?
But my off the
drive,
tee, like embarrassingly. I'm talking like, and somehow I would scramble to save par, I guess, because Gainer is a shorter course. But I'm talking like I'm a fairway or 2 fairways over off the tee a couple times, and a couple good shots as well.
Yeah, of course.
But driver, like embarrassing, like almost like not even worth hitting, to be honest.
Oh my God! Did you stop? Did you hit it the whole?
Yeah,
like,
I did.
You did. Okay,
I did. Yeah.
I mean, you got to figure it out.
But I think it's just a lesson. I'm just gonna say, listen, I don't need you to change much because I think when they start changing a bunch of things, that's when you struggle. But I'm like, I just need a couple things that you could give me to help me out. I just struggling with consistency off the tee. I think that would be good.
What do you think is your biggest problem with your drive? Like, if you had to guess.
Think my swing is not consistent, and then I'm factoring in too many things because I had that terrible experience where I'm going left. So now I'm favoring the right side, so then I'm overcompensating the right. But then I feel like my swing speed is different sometimes, and I got to just have one solid motion, one solid plan. That's for sure. But yeah, it was nice to get another good round in the books and looking forward to the rest of the season. And I feel like, and listen, I know Gainer is part of it. Like, you got to do it at other courses as well. But it just makes me feel good that I think there is some hope for some big improvement if I can't hit tee shots, but I could still shoot in the 80s. I mean, I think that's pretty good. So yeah, definitely excited, and we'll get a couple of days off with the Yankee game, which I think is good. Back was feeling a little tight after the round yesterday, just because there's been a lot of rounds recently. Of course.
Yeah, I bet.
So yeah, that yesterday, like I said, it was a great day. And we have some comments from some great people.
Yeah, I would say some of them are great. Some of them maybe are not so great. But speaking of great, we have Kev Dew in the house. He says, I see an early start. We want all the smoke. Both Mets and Stankies lose! Exclamation points. Matthew Gabriel also says, let's go. He says, what's good from the show? Matthew Gabriel down at the shore in Jersey, dude. Yeah. The shore, dude.
Well, you can see how I thought that, but I did forget he was going to the shore. Michael.
What's up, dude?
Not sure if when you're getting the coffee, missed the top of the show, but I was saying yesterday was a great day. You guys started it off. Really appreciate it, bro. It was awesome. Donuts came in clutch on the course as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was great, dude. And then, can you believe it? 1 week from tomorrow, Beach Bash. That is going to be off the hook.
Literally.
And what do you guys think? Me and Tony were talking about this before, Michael. I'm going to kind of push Dave a little bit just on Grassa. Do you think he'll give us anything?
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for that.
I don't know if he likes him either. I think he just works with him.
Yeah.
Dude, it's actually funny when I turned the show on this morning, probably, I don't know, 7 or whatever time it was. Something had just happened before break where they were probably arguing because they apologized or something.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I wonder what happened, dude.
Who apologized?
No, Dan Gross was just doing planks just now. I was just listening.
Planks.
Planks.
On the show.
Never done planks before. He's like,
God.
what were you doing now? Dave's like, no.
No, I
He's
think
gonna do them anyway. Okay, here we go. He's on the floor. Dave's like, it's just embarrassing.
No, I think what they need to do is
Bring Carlin back.
No, how about this?
Dude.
4 horsemen. You want to talk 4 horsemen? Michael K, Peter Rosenberg, Dan Grassa, Chris Carlin, and then just have them do their own show. No one will listen to it, and they'll all get fired, and that's it.
Wow,
no?
dude. No, yeah, that's the blueprint right
Like,
there.
could you
dude.
imagine how bad that show would be?
Oh my god, dude. It's so funny too, because I feel like I hear Carlin on like commercials and promotional stuff for ESPN radio still, but I haven't. I don't. Maybe, dude. Where is he?
No,
dude?
but I bet he does like just weekend over, like just random bullshit.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I see freaking Damer and Larry every night.
Yeah, that's dude. I get Damer and
Gordon Damer.
confused.
Oh yeah.
Damer, Gordon, their voices.
Grassa.
No, but I honestly,
Grassa.
I honestly like them though.
They're not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a while, I thought
They were two different people.
they were the same person.
Yeah. Oh,
I thought Damer and Grassa were the same.
oh, Damer and Grassa.
Yeah.
You know, I think you got mixed up about something like
yeah.
that. No, but the reason I mentioned
it's
saying that I like him,
confusing, dude.
Tony, like it seemed like he was okay with him, but I think he's still tight deep down.
About who?
Damer and Larry.
And Larry.
They're not the best.
But I don't think they're the worst at
They're
all.
not the worst. They're better together. Like
Oh,
when
yeah.
they're separated, like when Damer fills in for someone with someone else, I'm like, this isn't good. But together they're good. It's very odd.
Yeah. The odd couple.
Yeah, that's what it is, dude.
What
Speaking
else we got?
of the odd couple, Matthew Ryan says at Kev Taylor, Stankies, really, dude? Kick rocks, LOL. Matthew Gaber says, nice shirt to the both of us. Ocean is freezing, he says, but quite lovely. Don't fucking complain, Matthew. All right, honestly, dude.
Ocean in the Northeast is soft in the summer.
It is tough, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, last weekend I was in the water, Rockaway Beach, frigid.
Yeah. Even in the fine state of New York, Tony.
I know.
Still fucking freezing,
dude. And Matthew Ryan, just going off about the Mets right now at Kev Taylor. They are Yankees. Give them respect to our name, he says. And your New York Mets is a joke. LOL.
Let's
Says,
go, Matthew
Mets
Ryan. Let's
trash.
go.
That little
Let's go.
winning streak was a fluke, he
Let's
says.
go, Matty boy.
Back to being lowly.
Lowly.
Matthew Ryan says, great to see. I think he was talking about your birthday stuff because he really loves you. Hashtag Mets suck, he says. Still under 500. What a joke organization. And then he's laughing emojis. Mets are jokes.
Let's go. Let's go.
Matthew Ryan says, at Michael Theophil, did you buy your Zach Wilson Broncos jersey? Laughing at himself. He's the only one who is. And then he says, Tony is tight because he is a Mets fan.
You know what's an interesting question? I know your answer to this, but if they took a poll, okay, of all Mets fans, like real Mets fans, not people that they buy a jersey, go to a game every couple of years, how many of them do you think, like if they were given the option, obviously this is a hypothetical scenario, would choose a different team if they could go back?
Zero.
I don't think that's true.
Zero.
No.
Zach, would you?
But Tony, the problem
Come
is
on,
you didn't
dude.
answer that question seriously, because I started it by saying I know your answer to it. But the thing is, and it's like Zach's a big fan too, but you're telling me it's zero? There's no way it's zero. It's probably 50%.
No, 50% is ridiculous. Half of the Mets fan base you think would come back and change their teams.
I mean, has it been a fun experience?
Half?
But I'm think about 86 though. How long ago that is?
Yes.
That's a whole generation.
Matthew Ryan says over 70%. Yeah, but like if people wanted to change their teams, they would.
Yeah, but I think there's like a stubbornness
I
and
don't
just
know,
like
man.
that's how it is type of thing. It's like me with the Jets. I wish I could, but I can't. But I think there's other people that would, especially and I will tell you too, if I could go back in time, like from a young age and like a team, it wouldn't be the Jets. I'll tell you that much. So there's your answer, Tony.
Why was it the Jets to begin with? Your dad?
My cousins had season tickets.
Oh.
And then, Vinny T, Chad, Curtis Martin. There was stuff to be excited about.
No season tickets no more, though, right?
No season tickets no more.
No season tickets,
And-
nothing to be excited
And
about.
even though there's a great roster, I still think they're gonna suck ass for some reason.
I mean, the training camp thing, the whole
I'm
Raj
just
is
I just you know what I mean? And it's like I'm not even worked up about it, but I'm just so tired of hearing about it.
No, yeah, I totally agree here. But I don't know, man. I think that's a very interesting question. I think 50% is way too high.
We might have to
Take a
do
poll?
yeah, exactly. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, maybe we should take a trip to next Mets home game, City Field. Don't even buy
Get the
tickets.
notepad out.
Exactly. Notepad, microphone outside the stadium, polling every person, dude. 20,000
Matthew
people.
Ryan saying facts, and he says Zach Wilson almost ruined his fandom of the Jets, and I can tell you it ruined it for me, but it was already ruined before that. I mean, it was ruined since Fitzpatrick blew the game against the Jets, not the Jets, but the Bills, 2016, the fucking Rex of all people. I believe we had 2 more comments. I think Matthew wanted to know how I like the hat.
Yes.
Love the hat. Haven't got to wear it on a day yet, but definitely going to wear it out in the course. Good for sun cover. Josh B, what up, fam? So
what up, Josh?
Great to have Josh with us, and so excited to see him next week, as well as Kev Dew in the rest of the TCA, Tony.
Oh yeah, dude, that's gonna be sick.
Yeah, that is going to be a time.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I guess really before we get to our I guess main event, you could say, of Major League Baseball, we do have the Travelers underway, and Robert McIntyre is your leader right now, very early on. He's 1 under through 3. You got Bahadia, Dietrich, Pendrith, Victor Perez at even, and then Knapp and Goddard up +1. So normally, before this became a signature event, full field 155 golfers, guys would have teed off at 6:20 or 6:30. Because it's only like 84, 85. The first tee times, I think, were just after 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that's why we don't have much action yet. But definitely excited to see this one. And what do you think, Tony? Because I feel like we probably said this last year, but next year, let's make it happen. Let's do one day. What day do you think would be the best to go
for the Travelers?
Yeah. Do we want to just go for Sunday, the finish?
That would be kind of sick, dude.
Yeah.
What are tickets like? How does it?
It's just like a grounds pass. But if I had to guess, I mean, I'm thinking like inside of $75.
That's pretty cheap to go.
Yeah, it's not like it's
event,
yeah. It's not going to be that much. And then +2, who knows if this will be a signature? If it's not, the tickets might even be less. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being like $30, $40 or $50.
Wow.
So let's put that on a notepad.
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah,
signed agreement with the opening days next year.
Yeah.
But in that agreement, I'm going to say that Mets opening day, only game of the season, unless it's against the Yankees. Or if there's a tailgate. Well, you saw the product of me going to more than one game. I mean, it wasn't good. I mean, I think Dave agreed, right?
Yeah, no, I think so.
Oh man, I wish you recorded some of that just so I could see it. What was that?
That was the Disney sign, dude.
Oh wow.
Sorry, you can just leave it. You can put it back up.
But Tony, I really wish you recorded that, because I just like I don't really have like a firm memory of really saying that. But to me, I feel like I remember asking a question or two, but the way it sounds like I was hammering Dave with questions.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like you were talking to him maybe obviously at Publicans.
Yep.
Right. And then there was we were walking next to him towards the train station, but then all of a sudden on the train, he's sitting and you're standing right over him. Oh my God, dude. It was funny. It really was, dude.
Did I get anything in with Rick, or it was all just asking Dave? I think I asked at Publicans, I asked Rick what his favorite teammate of all time was. I forgot who he said, but you remember that though?
No.
Oh, yeah. I did ask him that, but I don't think I really talked to him after that.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Rick, I feel like was a little lower key, dude.
Yeah. But I think he gets popped. Everyone says no, but I feel like he's slugging.
I mean, he must have had 3 martinis at the show, so he probably was feeling
probably the
good.
Pen in the back.
Definitely, dude. Ripping one with Lonnie.
Yeah,
dude, definitely.
Yeah, dude.
Definitely.
But honestly, I feel like it's equally as funny. Just thinking back to that day is when Kev asked me if I was gonna be like that for the beach bash.
Dude, the beach bash is gonna be fun.
I know. God. So excited for that. One week from tomorrow. Cannot wait. And let's go though to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it! Yep. And Alonso cracks one. The Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeouts.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
Oh, this is so random. Nothing to do with baseball. But I was just thinking about this because a couple of things just happened to me. Just with small stuff that'll come out, but just in general, is it just me? And I feel like I'm not reckless with this at all, but like, especially like white stuff, it's so hard to keep it clean. Like you could try your hardest and it's like always like one little thing. You didn't do anything egregious and then big spot. Like, does that not happen to you a lot or no?
Every time. It happened to me on Tuesday, I think, when Mike and I went to see the movie, actually.
What was it?
I had a white t-shirt on.
Yeah.
And I guess we had like these I forget what they're called, but they're little like bite-sized crunch bar thingies. And I guess one must have dropped while I was eating it in the theater. Obviously didn't know it was dark out. Come outside.
That DTV shirt you had.
Yeah, melted chocolate on it.
Did it come out or you didn't watch it yet?
I like did the shout thing.
Shout.
Like
okay.
Dude,
Shout is the best.
Love
dude.
Shout, dude. Yeah.
So it pretty much every time, unless it's like some heavy grease stain.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when I go to Arthur Ave later, I'm literally just gonna take off my jersey.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. And
You
like
should,
yesterday, dinner with Sam, I get the seafood pasta, the
Let's
red
go.
sauce.
Red sauce
like,
all over yourself?
With the napkin tucked in still.
Really? Red sauce is tough too, because I feel like, especially when you're wearing a white shirt, like that shit splashes sometimes. So it's like all of a sudden you're just seeing like little tiny red dots. And you're like, oh shit, dude. But you got like some globs.
Yeah, and again, the shout, she had the time to go, it'll come out. But it's just the point, like, why is it so difficult? And then like these shoes, for instance, I don't do anything crazy.
Right.
It's always like this little like dirt speck, and then it doesn't come out. And I just don't like, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Do you think it's just like part of like the whole? I don't know if it's so much rigged, but that's the first word that comes to my mind, that like these manufacturers, whether it's clothes, shoes, whatever, they purposely make it where the stuff is very stain prone.
Interesting.
So
I don't
you have
know.
to buy more.
Yeah. You think so?
Kind of, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I guess so. Because it does. I mean, it is kind of odd. And I mean, in my opinion, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel the same way though. Because I also like, I don't know. I treat clothes like fucking like they're pieces of shit. Though I go through clothes like nobody's business. Sneakers, shirts, shorts. Like, I don't know, man.
yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. And also, too, I don't know if you noticed this, and I guess maybe a lot of it is from the golf course, or also when I have to pick up material, but khaki shorts, no chance of them not having like just some type of streak on them. Every single pair I own. That doesn't have, like, but I'm not talking about beige. I'm talking about like, that like it's not white, but it's kind of just off from white.
Yeah, almost a cream.
Like, I can't keep those clean at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a pair of white shorts that I've maybe worn twice.
So like,
And
but
it's
that's
just
like
like-
some people I see that have the same shoes or clothes and they don't have any, and it's like, what do I need to do?
I don't know. I don't know if people are just so like cognizant of
Yeah.
that while they're wearing
The
those
Cognizant
things.
Classic.
The Cognizant Classic. But it's just like, I'm not like, if I'm gonna wear a shirt or whatever, I'm not gonna be worried about like, oh, what's gonna happen if I get something on this. Like, I just don't like. Come on, they're just clothes the other day, and it's just like I'm like I know people who like Domac, for example. He's into fucking sneakers, so he like. There's something he puts into his shoe that stops it from creasing while he's walking.
Oh,
but then he
okay.
has like this fucking thing in the toe of his shoe that's like kind of like obstructing his foot. And I'm like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, no, that's funny. I could picture that. And you know who agrees with us is Bernie. So good to hear from him. He says, "Morning, boys, have a great show. I can't wear white while having Italian food, automatic stain." And that is the truth.
That's
honestly. Right. And also too, like you were talking about like clothes and shoes. What would you say a pair of sneakers, let's say on average, you're going to wear 4 or 5 times a week? What's the average duration of wear? Like it's pretty solid. Like they're not like you haven't sweated in them too much or they don't get too dirty. Like what would you say your average lifespan of a sneaker that you're wearing regularly is?
I mean, I'll use my Sambas, for example, which are like that's like prime, like longevity because they're black, I don't know. I'd probably give him 2 years.
I honestly, I would say the prime for me is 2 to 3 months.
Really?
Because I just like I wear sneakers a lot, and then it's like it's so hard not to sweat, especially in the winter. And then it's like I don't know. I get annoyed with like do you wash your shoes? Like put them in the washing machine or no?
My mother will do it sometimes if I go home and she's like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
But I'm not putting my shoes in the washing machine. What the hell is that? Also, like what? Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Really? How often?
I wait like until I've had them for 4 or 5 months and then give it a try, unless there was like some stain specifically. It's not often, but I don't know. It's like hard for me too. Like, do you put anything like in your shoe to like keep them fresh, like smelling or anything, or no, like Gold Bond or anything?
No, not necessarily. I guess like I have inserts in my sneakers that have like a scent to them, but
so
it's not, it's not.
But
crazy,
that probably
no, it definitely helps. Definitely helps. Yeah.
And actually, I guess I was wrong. We do have Lonnie in the building here. Says I can't eat pizza without getting a stain on colored shirt. Very true. It's unfortunate.
It is
Lonnie,
unfortunate.
I think you might have missed the top, but I was saying I finally, and I meant to wear it, but I was running around messed up. But I'll be have it on the show soon. Got the Volpe pinstripe jersey, no name on the back for my birthday. So just for you, buddy. All right.
Dude, that really is sick.
Yeah, I'm pumped to wear it today. Honestly, pumped to
You
wear
are gonna wear it today. That's the jersey.
Yeah, but like I said, at Arthur Ave, we take it easy, put it in the corner, push it aside.
I still can't believe the napkin on the shirt and you're still getting stains through.
Well, because
on the shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my!
So go to the spot. It's like, what am I supposed to do? It's like I have to have no shirt on when I'm eating.
I guess you can try that.
And he says you're a good man, and so are you, my friend. So are you.
He's definitely hyped for you for the jersey.
Oh, he's hyped.
How's the new Yankee polo too?
The new Yankee polo is great, but again, white. So it's
it's white.
I have to like scribble, but I get annoyed because I know what happens with white, but at the same time, I like the look of white. So like, what am I just supposed to never wear anything white the rest of my life?
Yeah, honestly, and then white for the summer is great. The heat. Come on.
And also, speaking of the white, the hat, I just realized it's so minor, but I don't know. I'm just somebody, especially like when I just get something, like I'm like OCD, like I can't have like this little mark. And I had the scab. So before I put in the Band-Aid, I was like taking tags out the bag, and there's like little red spots on like the hat I just got. But I know this shower, I'm sure it'll come out.
Yeah,
and they're like in spots where you can't see, but it's just like the principle of it, Tony. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it just, it just bothers me. And then Lonnie wants a picture, you handsome man, and he says he likes the color of your shirt, Tony.
Oh, thank you, dude. A little blue, love blue.
Yeah. So good stuff there. Unfortunately, not good stuff on the diamond last night. We had both New York teams lose. Yankees at the stadium. Garrett Cole's return, Tony. They had a tight leash on the pitch count. Only gives him 4 innings, 62 pitches, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. I think he looked great. That second earned run was due to Ron Marinaccio serving a home run up after Cole had let off a leadoff single in the 5th. So I think it was positive what we saw out of Cole. Hit 97 on the gun a few times, so you love to see that. And I like too how this team, last night they rallied offensively. But I think, and there's a couple of things that I've been talking about, the bullpen, the catching situation, that unfortunately reared its ugly head once again. So, we'll talk about that, but just a scoring synopsis here. So first inning, Gunnar Henderson, gets a hit, and then Ryan O'Hearn hits a ground double. So 1-0 Orioles, only damage in the first. But the Yankees answer back in the bottom half, a Gleyber sac fly. So finally something good situationally for Gleyber, makes it a 1-1 game. I mentioned how, Mullins had a bloop single. They go to Marinaccio. He promptly serves one up to Urias. And it made it 3-1 Orioles. And then O'Hearn had a double to make it 4-1. So the Yankees chasing 3 here. And then in the top of the 7th, give up another run on a Mountcastle double. That was, courtesy of Victor Gonzalez, who had brushed back Gunnar Henderson. But the only problem was, was to lead off the inning, and then Gunnar Henderson ends up coming around to score. So, and he said through his translator, didn't mean to do it, this and that. Hard to think after what's happened these couple games that it wasn't intentional.
Oh, yeah.
But that was tough to see, especially because if that didn't happen, we would have had a tie game in the bottom half of the inning, because Giancarlo Stanton, the Yankees get a couple bloop singles. Stanton hits a 440-foot home run off Yennier Cano, which was very surprising. We've seen Stanton struggle against better pitchers, higher velocity. Cano, both of those. So it was like, wow, like here we go. We're right back in this. He also ties the game in the bottom of the 9th. Yankees had a chance to win it, couldn't. And then unfortunately, Clay Holmes in the 10th, he's continued to struggle his last 15 appearances or so. That ERA rising after not giving up any runs. He gives up a single to Cedric Mullins, which scored Santander. And then the tough part, again, it's like if he's catching, like, we might as well just not even have him throw. Jose Trevino throws the ball into the outfield. So 7-5. Yankees get a sac fly from Ben Rice to make it 7-6, but then Jamahi Jones makes the last out of the game with a runner on. So Yankees fall 7-6 to drop game 2 of this series. So just, a tough loss. Obviously, Judge out of the lineup, still letting that swelling go down. There's talk about maybe being in there tonight or this afternoon.
Ooh.
But yeah, so I just feel like what I just talked about a couple of days ago was all reaffirmed in this, and just thinking about the bullpen and especially the way Clay's going, it's like, I mean, who do we have? Like, I feel like I only have confidence in Michael Tonkin, Tony.
Has your confidence in the bullpen really wavered that much?
And they showed it. The ERA through May 18th for the bullpen, first in the major leagues, was 2.5 roughly.
Right.
It's day after till now, ERA has been 4.6.
Are they getting overused? I don't think they've really been overused this year. I feel like your starter's been doing well.
I think it's one of those things when you really take a look at it, and obviously Ian Hamilton going to the injured list doesn't help either.
Right.
But I just think there wasn't the established guys to start the season. And, Marinaccio, that home run was tough. I mean, I think he will be good, so I'll give him a pass. Clay, though, and Josh B was ahead of this. I mean, Clay kind of comes into question. It's been a rough go recently.
Wow. Josh B ahead of this.
Because remember, he was talking about how he collapsed last year in August.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I just find myself here, like, I want to get rid of Jose Trevino and I want to trade for Mason Miller. And I would like to do it now. And I know now, kind of so far ahead of the trade deadline, is kind of tough to get those type of deals done. But that's where I find myself at. And it's kind of tough because I feel like, we have such a good team, but those things need to be buttoned up. And it's like, I mean, I know Josh was kind of like saying, oh, like give Trevino a break. But after making that error at a crucial time, extra innings again last night, I just, could you explain to me? I know he's very good at pitch framing, but with that in the back of opposing teams' mind, I mean, is it really feasible to keep putting him out there? You just take off, just go. Every pitch, just blindly go. I mean, you're playing with fire.
I mean, again, at this point, this is the second time we're talking about this. Okay, this is like literally, it just happened. So it's like, oh, dude. I mean, it's something he clearly has to work on, and if he doesn't, then you got to start thinking, all right, like you're not going to be playing.
Yeah.
So if this continues, dude, yeah, because like you said, this has happened now twice in close proximity of each other too. So it's like you got to figure that out, and like you said, those types of things need to be buttoned up. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like some people, not saying this is Josh, but I feel like some people, even Yankees fans or fans of whoever at any point, see their season and be like, oh, like this is like they're doing great. They'll be fine. Oh, they'll be fine.
Well, yeah, it's
but it's like
you mentioned Josh. He's the antithesis of that.
Yeah. Like when in reality, it's like when push comes to shove, and it's like you're in the championship series. Like that's what can't happen. Like at all,
Like why wouldn't they steal 10 bases every game?
Like literally, dude, you need like a catcher who can throw people out, who can catch people stealing. You need a bullpen that's reliable. That's bullpens to win your games. And like you said, I think Marinaccio, who has had limited time playing, I feel like this year, he'll come around for sure. But Holmes, again, I mean, this is like a couple outings now. We're starting to see a little bit, starting to see him waver. And he's got to figure that out. Do you think, like, at the end of the day, though, like postseason here, like it's Clay Holmes getting out there in the 9th, closing games out still?
I think they're going to explore Mason Miller and then bump Clay to a setup, which I would love, because I think Clay in a setup role would be great.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm kind of curious too, and I forgot about one name, but I want to run down the bullpen, and I want you to give me your honest take here in terms of like, is this guy trustable postseason? Okay. So first guy, just going by how the roster's listed here, Caleb Ferguson.
I don't trust him in the postseason.
Victor Gonzalez.
No.
Clay Holmes.
I would say for now, yes.
So that's 1. Tommy Kahnle.
Yes.
2. Ron Marinaccio.
Oh. And right now, I would say no.
Okay. Michael Tonkin
Yes.
and then Luke Weaver. Numbers are good this year. I mean, you
know.
let up a couple of runs recently.
I'll say yes. Yeah, I'll say yes.
I
Luke
mean, so
Weaver,
that's
numbers
4
good.
guys. Maybe Hamilton comes back.
Right.
But I feel like that's not enough. And then you think about the specifics of the guys. Like,
Right.
I just feel like you need, like, don't you think like trying Tonkin or Weaver as your top setup guy, World Series, like, is that a little like
a bit of a stretch? Yeah.
Yeah.
But you said, I mean, I guess like Marinaccio, I know I said no now, but expecting him to develop.
Yeah.
And then again, Hamilton coming back, those are huge pieces, you know.
But how many relievers would you say they need to acquire?
Or they need to acquire?
Yeah. I think 2 to 3.
I would say 2. Yeah, I was gonna say 2. But I mean, you really can have enough relievers.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 to 3.
So and then so I think we're kind of on the same page there. Now what about Trevino? Well, right now you're Brian Cashman. What would this second, what would be your plan moving forward there? Honestly,
he's not playing.
Like you're figuring out a way to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I don't care what he hits.
And honestly, dude, like, yeah, I mean, I don't care what he hits, platinum glove, whatever. I think you'll be better off without him. And then if you can deal him and like get pieces, like why not?
Which I think you might still be, even though this has been really bad, but you could definitely get
something,
even if it's a single A middling prospect.
Yeah, dude.
Let's go, honestly, because I can't deal with it before.
No nonsense.
Augustine Ramirez has been crushing it in the minors. Corey has him right now. So he's got a lot of power. I know the defense isn't bad, but just kind of middle of the road. But I'm gonna actually see him on Monday, so I'm definitely gonna go over all this stuff with him and just kind of see where he's at in terms of what he thinks they're gonna do, to correct these things, because I think they definitely need to be corrected, and you just don't want them to bite you in the ass down the line at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. What's the deal with Corey? Is he like allowed to like divulge information?
So
can he come on the show and talk about it or no?
I don't know about coming on the show, but I think it's just more like just not even like from it's more of a fan perspective.
Right.
But I just feel like, he just kind of, I just feel like he sees things, so he knows and hears probably. But that's the type of thing. But yeah, I just want to know at the end of the day, just kind of what the plan is here. Some positives though from last night. Anthony Volpe, 3 hits. He's been kind of up and down recently, but the average at 272. I mean, after a 209 spot last year, that's great. And then Stanton, I've been really down on Stanton, talking about not hitting big home runs, getting big hits. He had both of those yesterday, 2 for 4 RBIs. So 18 home runs now, 494. And with him, and I know it's like you're looking so far ahead. And I think, did we say it's 3 years after this season with him? So, and it's, I think, 20 million, give or take. What type of numbers do you think, and let's assume that he is fully healthy the rest of the year, what type of numbers do you think it would take for a team to do 10 million a season with him? So like you're eating half, but what do you think he would need to like finish this year with?
Half, dude.
Yeah. Because I just feel like though people are just like, oh, this guy just like he just strikes out on sliders. Dude. He's always hurt. Like teams are going to be that you can't really put him in the field.
Do you know what his average is at right now?
So his average is 243, which for him honestly is hitting 300.
Right.
I think, after hitting 190 or whatever, 189 last year.
I mean, honestly, I think then like if a team were to want to eat some of that contract, I feel like the batting average, if he goes on a tear and gets up to like, dare I say like 260. Again, like you just said, 243, 300. If a team sees 260, they're like, wow, this is great. 260 average. And honestly, that by itself, like, let's freaking go.
Yeah.
I feel. Is it gettable though for it? I mean, I don't know.
I feel like hopefully he just like kills it. And then a team that comes into mind, because like they struggle with getting guys to sign there unless they don't have anywhere else to get money, is the San Francisco Giants. He is from California. I know he has his no trade list or whatever, but maybe he accepts that. They did bring in some talent this offseason. So we'll see. But just kind of a little food for thought there. LeMahieu did have 2 hits last night as well. So good to see that. Ben Rice, another hit here. And barely missed a home run to tie the game in the 8th inning. So Ben Rice, the swingers look good. So you love to see that so far. So, excited to go to the game this afternoon. Kind of weird. I almost want to say, Tony, usually the Yankees only have one 4:00 game per season, and that might be the only one today.
Wow.
But we're gonna see Luis Gil versus Cole Irvin,
Which is sick.
Gil obviously has been one of the best pitchers in the American League. 9-1, 203, 96 strikeouts in 80 innings. But Cole Irvin has been a reclamation project. I believe he's been on the A's and the Nationals, if I'm not mistaken,
Correct.
Tony. But he's 6-3 with a 303. Not a strikeout guy, 51 in 68 innings, but those are solid numbers. A left-hander. So it'll be interesting to see how the Yankees navigate. And you'd expect Stanton, especially after last night, especially going against the lefty, kind of bumped up in the order. So I feel good about their chances. Gil won them their only game in Baltimore when they played in the first series of the season. So let's get after it today. I think good signs, from the offense. We'll see if Judge will be back in the lineup. So yeah, last night, it was frustrating, but I think as those type of things kind of rear their ugly head, Tony, I think it will kind of push forward the desire to address those things, so in a way, blessing in disguise type of thing. You know what I mean? Because if you're seeing it in front of your face, it's tough to ignore.
Yeah. And seeing it now rather than, in September, a lot better now. Yeah.
So I can't wait to see, what relievers they're going to bring in. Mets had a close one yesterday, but ultimately dropped the last game of their set in Texas.
That is correct, dude. Bit of an oddball game here. Obviously, gaming corner on, so I was, in and out during the first few innings, and then, obviously, caught the highlight this morning. Did see, Mendoza getting a little heated. Even with the umpires, I feel like yesterday, which is, I guess, maybe a good sign because I feel like we really don't get a lot of emotion out of Mendoza, at least during the game anyway. Looked like he was trying to get tossed, but nonetheless here, Mets drop game 3 here. So they don't get the sweep. Matthew Ryan hyped, but just to take you through a little bit of the scoring here, you had Sean Manaea, on the dish, on the bump, pitching against Andrew Heaney, and we talked about it yesterday. Both pitchers are your basic 5 innings and done type of pitchers. I think Heaney actually ended up getting 6, and he actually looked pretty good last night because of some of the kerfuffles at the plate the Mets had. But we'll start off with a little scoring synopsis here. Bottom of the first, Texas gets on the board with no hits, dude. So this first inning here for Manaea, pretty interesting. Marcus Semien, leadoff batter, fired out to left. Corey Seager starts out swinging. So you're thinking, all right, 2 up, 2 down, 2 outs right now. Manaea, hopefully gonna maybe have like a 10 pitch inning or whatever. Grossman walked. Okay, so now you have runner on first, and a tough walk actually. The first pitch was a strike, and then every other pitch was a ball. Okay, it's kind of ridiculous. He steals second, which again, you want to talk about, teams that are easy to give up, stolen bags. I feel like the Mets are up there. I mean, I know like before Alvarez got hurt, they were like 4 for 28 in catching guys stealing. That's something atrocious.
But it seems like from those numbers, because that's not a lot of attempts, that they've gotten lucky where teams haven't tried to push that.
Yeah, no, I think so. And there's a few. I guess there's a few pitchers that have good pick off moves
or quicker to the plate.
Exactly.
Obviously.
So I guess that bodes well for them. But nonetheless, Grossman's up stealing second here. And then, Manaea just, I don't know what happens, but just cannot find the strike zone. Walks Garcia, walks Smith right after that. So you have 3 walks back to back to back. He walks the bases loaded. And then on an 0-2 pitch, he hits Langford. So
that's terrible. Too
absolutely ridiculous. And honestly, I haven't really seen this before either, where it was a slider in the dirt and it bounces, but takes a weird bounce up and then in and hits Langford in the knee, and he takes the base from that. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
A ball getting bounced in front of the plate, hits the batter, and that's how he reaches the base.
I didn't think that actually was.
I know. I didn't think that.
Did you look up the rules?
I mean, I didn't look it up, but the ump came out. He comes out. He's like, "You got hit. Take your base." So I guess. That's what it is. I mean, there's no way. I mean, they didn't really dispute it, so I'm assuming that is the rule. because that ball freaking bounced and him in like the inside of the kneecap, which is kind of crazy. So just like that, like the Rangers score a run without getting a hit, which is, obviously for if you're the team giving up that run, absolutely atrocious. Next batter, Lowe comes in, or Lau, excuse me, grounds into fielder's choice. Langford out second. They go for the short route. Inning over. Mendoza talking to Manaea here. What do you got?
I did look this up. So this is the technical ruling. A hit by pitch can also be called on a pitch that is first touched the ground before hitting the batter. Such a bouncing pitch is like any other, and if a batter is hit by such a pitch, he will be awarded first unless he made no attempt to avoid it and he had an opportunity to avoid it.
See, now that's interesting because watching, I know it doesn't recall, but I don't know. Watching Langford get hit by the pitch, like he kind of just stood there. But whatever, judgment call, doesn't matter. Game's over. Who cares? So absolutely atrocious, dude. But Manaea, crazy, settles down after that, retires the next 15 batters.
Where did that come from?
Actually, post game, he attributes Alvarez and Mendoza from really calming him down.
Wow.
And I forget too. I think it was Quintana's last start too.
He said the same thing.
Yeah, he was like Alvarez, like he was struggling, and Alvarez was like, dude, just like throw your fastball like high and inside, and then he did that. He started getting some strikeouts. So you know what, dude? Alvarez is he's the fucking man. All right, so let's go, dude. He really is the man. But going through some more scoring here, Mets. Top of the fourth, finally get on the board here with a Marte RBI double scoring Brendan Nimmo. Brendan Nimmo, again, weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. He check swings this pitch. It hits like the inside of his bat, like by his hands, flies down the third base line into the corner of the outfield.
Yeah,
no, literally, like he does like a check swing like this.
Oh, but it breaks, you're saying. Or no.
Check swings.
He loses grip of the bat and
check swings.
Yeah.
And he doesn't mean to, but he hits the ball with the inside of his bat.
And you're saying it was down the line for a hit.
Literally. It flew past third base and was on the foul line and just started rolling down.
What did our buddies have to say about that?
Oh, what, Ron and Gary, dude? Yeah. Well, when you're on fire, you know, because he's been on fire. Yeah, that's what he said, Wait,
was Keith not on the call?
I don't think so. I think it was just Ron.
He was probably at the dispensary.
Yeah, probably, dude. But nonetheless, because of that, Nimmo ends up scoring on the bag with the Marte's double. Love that 1-1, just like there. And that will go to top of the sixth, which, by the way, at this point, the Rangers have not had a hit yet. They were no hit through 5.
Wow.
But top of the sixth here, Alonso, 2-run dinger here. Martinez was walked before that. Martinez drew 2 walks. Great guy, by the way. JD Martinez really is and
it's so funny. The other day I thought you were saying that he wasn't,
but it was Marte. Yeah, which is crazy. But Alonso, 2-run dinger, makes it 3-1, top of the sixth. Even Zach was like, yo, saw this, him and his brother, let's just hold down the lead till we got the sweep. But what a half inning later, Manaea, and again, we talked about it for the show too, Manaea, who's always that 5-inning guy who always blows up in the 6th, third time around the rotation, whatever. Here we go, bottom of the 6th. Corey Seager strikes out swinging. Great job there. Grossman single. Garcia flies out. So 1 out, 1 man on. Smith here, first pitch, sinker, didn't sink enough. RBI double just like that, scoring Grossman 3-2. Mendoza comes out smartly, takes Manaea out because it's the 6th inning, gives up a run, 3-2, whatever. Bring in Reed Foley, probably your bad move there, because he gives up a single to Langford right away, scoring Smith. Rangers tied up. Reed Foley ends up getting out of the inning. But moving fast forward now to the bottom of the 7th, Drew Smith gives up a home run to Tavares. Tough at bat, 7-pitch at bat, multiple foul balls here, but nonetheless, Drew Smith, who we've seen multiple times, who almost insists on hammering his fastball, does hammer the fastball. Tavares hammers him, makes it a 5-3 game, and that is pretty much all she wrote. You saw Adrian Hauser come out in the bottom of the 8th, who got through the inning, but at that point, top of the 9th, Mets couldn't get it together. I think it was that 7th inning too, where they left 2 men on too. So the Mets did not do great with runners in scoring position. Obviously only scoring 3 runs, only having 5 hits, where, the first couple games here of this series, you're absolutely on fire. But it's tough, dude. Obviously tough loss. Looking for that sweep. Matthew Ryan, I'm sure, is happy, but at the end of the day, I mean, you just have to figure out with your starters. I understand Manaea, ends up settling down. And I guess maybe you can kind of say your bats weren't as hot. But I mean, Jesus, Brian, like you can't just rely on scoring, 8 to 10 runs every game, like
starter's got to lock it down.
And then Manaea, like we said it, he never reaches 6 innings, know? So like the last thing you want to fucking do is give him a run in the first inning because he's not lasting 6 innings. So it's like, you got to do better, dude. He has to do better.
And is it, are you of the mindset where, as our favorite robot Prefer says, hey, Tony and Double B.
Come on, really?
Yeah, we haven't heard him, but I guess he's been using his other account, whatever one that is. But are you at the mindset contention or no contention? Like you really would be pushing to get Manaea off this team?
Oh yeah, dude.
Like you don't care what, even if it's player to be named later.
No, literally, dude.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him in the rotation next year.
Same thing though as Trevino.
Literally.
Yeah.
And it's enough, dude. I understand he's had like some up and down years. He's had some bounce, but even last year, I guess he had a good year, but I just don't see it, dude. That lack of command. I mean, come on, dude. That's no way is that indicative of a pitcher who deserves to be in a major league rotation, dude.
I mean, that's how you blow out your bullpen.
Yeah, exactly. That is how you blow out your bullpen, and it's tough, dude. So I obviously, I mean, you still won the series. So you're happy about that. You're getting close to 500. You have the Cubs coming up next.
Big series, like we said
tomorrow. Yeah, because we're off today. Huge series, I believe. I want to say the first pitching matchup is with Imanaga, I believe, pitching for the Cubs, which is tough because I think he has 1 loss in the year.
Yeah,
he's
pitching great, under dude. 2 still.
Is it still under 2?
I
haven't checked
right
it.
There.
But,
I could actually look it up right now.
Shota.
I just had this up. Okay, so Shota. Are you ready? You ready?
What do
you got? Oh, they're not playing today. Duh.
What is it? 2.1? 1.9.
1.89. But that's pretty good.
That's really good, Brian, actually. So
Quintana or Manaea if you had to.
Like choose which one to stay?
Yeah.
I guess Manaea.
Yeah, no, Quintana is literally batting
like,
practice.
Yeah,
literally batting practice.
God, dude. It really is so like it's so brutal that those 2 guys are in the rotation. And also, like, where's Christian Scott? I feel like he's been in the minors for a little bit. Why is he not in the rotation right now?
Let's look that up.
Because that's kind of ridiculous. I don't know if it's like a timeshare or whatever thing, but like that guy should be in the main. Like, he should be pitching against the Cubs. He should be pitching against a Rangers team that is struggling.
Sharp in his latest appearance with AAA one day ago, SNY struck out 3 batters against 4 and a third innings.
Interesting.
Only 72 pitches.
Maybe he's dealing with something. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Talented starter is eligible to return to Biggies whenever when needed, but the Mets still haven't revealed their plans for reinserting into the rotation just yet.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
put him in.
How many more years does Quintana have? Does he have? Is it 1 more year left on his contract?
2.
Okay.
I have to double check, dude. Sometimes I'm the numbers contract. There we go. Oh, 2-year contract last year, 2024. Yeah, it must be just next year. Oh, UFA in 2025.
Oh, so you lucked out.
There we go. Get him out. Goodbye. Sayonara, dude. So, I mean, I guess, time will tell, I suppose, what happens with the rotation. But like I said, I really want to see like an entirely different rotation like next year. Like totally different. I don't care if it's a bunch of young guys you bring from the minors, like figure it out. That's what I hate, honestly. The fact that it's like Mets haven't reviewed what they want to do with him. Bring them all up, dude. Like every pitcher, honestly.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Why not?
Like
Reed Foley sucks. Bring someone else out of the bullpen. Drew Smith doesn't have it.
Yeah.
He's wavering, dude.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like even if it doesn't,
I liked him,
but even if it doesn't work, like why not try with the minors guys?
Yeah, like who cares? And tell them, be like, hey, like don't worry about it.
Yeah,
we're trotting you out there. It doesn't matter. Like pitch what you got to do, work on your stuff, and like we're getting you experience.
And like for the bullpen, what would you say? Like you're kind of like where you make a judgment. Is it 5 appearances, 7 appearances, 10 appearances? Like what? what gives you a read of like, okay, well, we'll keep this guy around, or we got to get this guy back down to the minors?
Yeah, it's tough on just appearances. I mean, obviously, you want, I guess, a larger, sample size, but I don't know, I feel like for bullpen guys, it's almost like you have to take it as like a matchup scenario. Like what batter, like how are you pitching against someone like Juan Soto versus someone who's struggling? Like how do you pitch around them? Are you attacking them? That sort of stuff. Like that's really what I would look for, like those type of matchups. Because I mean, that's really what a lot of times you bring a bullpen guy for, specifically against a batter, depending on, who's up during that inning, high leverage situations. Yeah. Like how do you react if you're giving up a home run that just tied the game? Like what's your, how do you react against the next batter? That sort of deal is what I would be looking for.
Yeah, no, you're right. And obviously, just Pitt's execution. What do you think about what Prefer's saying about Amanga only facing one team, each team only once that he's faced so far this year? Does that make a big difference?
I think so, to be honest. I mean, especially with like a new pitcher like this. I mean, especially as a Met fan, watching, Kadai Senga pitch last year for the first time. He was that forkball was unhittable, once he found it and got to it. But then all of a sudden, when he's seeing teams more often, batters, you can tell, are looking for that specific pitch, and they're either laying off of it or they're anticipating or something like that. So, I mean, I kind of like that. I didn't know that Imanaga hasn't faced the same team twice, which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
At this point in the season. So yeah, I guess, I mean, the Mets will have their chances to hit up Imanaga, dude.
Yeah.
So it's possible. It could happen.
Interesting to see.
But I don't think, like, I don't know. He hasn't, I understand, like, like what I just said with, Senga in the forkball, but I feel like Imanaga doesn't really have, like, he's just a good pitcher, though. Like he is a really good pitcher, clearly. So I don't know. I'll take that with a grain of salt, I think, still.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to see what happens. Mets off today before heading to the friendly confines, Tony, of Wrigley Field. So a big series, like you said. What type of team are you going to see? But what are we going to see on the diamond today? It's time for an abbreviated, full-on baseball frenzy.
That is right, baby. It is a thirsty Thursday, Josh B, around Major League Baseball, and there's plenty of games to be played.
And White Claws to be had.
And White Claws to be had. Yes, that's right, Josh B. He absolutely loves them. But as we typically do, Brian, with the Mets being off, you have your first pick. We know where you're going. You're going to be there. So what do you got for the Yankees today?
Yeah, so, what has he done all season? A 9-1 record, an ERA just over 2. He dominates opponents. That's what he's going to do here. And sure, he might, have to labor a little bit, but if I had to give a number on it, I think it's 5 2/3 innings. I think it's 8 strikeouts and, maybe 2 earned runs, which is definitely pretty good against this Orioles lineup. I think the Yankees offense early and often, I want to see Judge back there, but I'm thinking I'm going to have to wait one more game before I see him tomorrow night at the stadium. So that being said, I think Soto, I think he's due for like a big game. I could see him going like 3 for 5, 2 home runs. I think Volpe, another 3 hits. How about Austin Wells wrapping one around the pole? So at the end of the day, I think it's going to be the Yankees 8 and the Orioles 4. So it's the Yankees and it's the over.
Wow, dude. Yankees bounce back victory. Love to see that. For my first game, dude, I know I'm looking at that Mariners game. I guess I'll give you the Mariners. Castillo against the Guardians. The Mariners maybe underwhelming. Castillo being a big part of being underwhelming here. But these two teams face off now for the third time this year. So far, the series is tied at 1, which is kind of ironic here as the Mariners got shut out last night 8-0, did win game 1 8-5, which is interesting. But of course, Castillo getting in there, 3.32 ERA, which I believe is actually down after his last few starts, which is nice. Logan Allen, 7-3, great record, 5.3 ERA. So I'd imagine the Mariners here, Julio Rodriguez may have a field day with Logan Allen. So I'll say Mariners, Castillo, vintage like we see from last year. Give me 7 innings, maybe 9 Ks, 1 or 2 earned runs here. As the Mariners go on to win this one, I'll say 5-2. So Mariners and your under, Brian.
All right. So Tony goes Mariners in the under. For my second selection here, somewhat an abbreviated slate. So I guess as you would say, not the who's who of games out there, but I've been big on Mackenzie Gore. I'm going to back him today at home, 105 against the Diamondbacks. Reed Nelson on the hill for the D-backs, 5.49 ERA. Even though he's shown some signs of improvement, I think Gore's been great. His ERA is at 3.2.
Great.
And I think he's going to keep getting better. I think he's going to get a lot of strikeouts this game. Give me the Nationals winning this one 3-1. So the Nationals in the under, and I think Gore will go 6 innings, striking out 12 for his 7th victory of the year.
Mackenzie Gore, not to be confused with Michael Gore. My second game here. I'm kind of on my side. I know. Seth Lugo. Let's go, dude. The Kansas City Royals are going to be in the Oakland Coliseum at 3:37 specifically in the PM here as the Royals take on the A's, dude. Similar records home and away for both teams, but obviously the overall records are vastly different. The lowly A's at 28-48 are going to look to get, I think they're the sweep, actually. They're going for the sweep against the Royals. Bobby Witt Jr. over here, maybe hitting for the cycle today. And Seth Lugo, a full game shutout. Josh B. riled as the Royals bounce back here, avoid the sweep, and win this game. I'll say 4-0 Royals and the under. Seth Lugo, Tony's fantasy team. I am destroying Kev Dude.
I'm going through it a little bit right now. Down at 3rd place in my Roto league. I'm losing 1-10 in another league. I think it's 6-8 in our league. What? Or 5-6. What the hell is going on? Luckily, I have Lugo on my fantasy team.
Yeah, baby.
Other league. But final game, Tony. I'm going to go, let's see here. I'm going to go with the tough decision.
It really is, dude.
But I'm going to take the Astros. The White Sox suck. I know, Chris Flexen, batting practice. Arrighetti struggling, has potential. This is where he unleashes that potential. Yordan Alvarez missing the last couple of games. Personal matter. Back in there today, I would hope. 3-run homer first inning. I think Astros easy here. We're going to say 6-0. So it's the Astros and it's the under.
Tough, slim pickings here. 3-game base game, final game. I guess give me the Brewers. Why not, dude? The 44-30 Brewers. Sneaky good, I guess, Brewers right now. I wonder if they're first in the division. I'm not even sure. I would imagine that does in the Central. But nonetheless, here, Willie Adames, 12 dingers in the year. Give me his 13th tonight because Adam Mercer is going to be on the mound. 0-2 in the season. 7.82 ERA. I want to say this guy is a young 23-year-old right-handed from Woodbury, Minnesota, dude. How about that? Give me the Brewers here. Maybe Tatis Jr., a dinger for him. Profar, no longer on Josh B's team, probably hits well. But I think the Padres go down. Brewers win this one. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of batting practice here. I say Brewers win. I'll say 6-2. 6-2. So that's Brewers and just at the under, dude.
Yeah, hard to argue that. And hard to argue that is the end of our baseball frenzy. And yeah, I think, fading the Padres, that's a good move. They've been anything but consistent this year.
Yeah.
Unlike Managa, Imanaga, who Buffer says is the highest rise as a 14 fastball, 22-inch rise. All of a sudden, Buffer is some technical baseball analyst. I mean,
I get maybe he was hearing me yesterday when I said we need a research department.
Yeah,
because now he's just
he would put his hat in the ring, dude. But he doesn't have a hat because he's not real. You know what I mean? So otherwise, I think he would be joining us. Yeah. And then again, my prediction for today: the Baltimore Orioles will break Juan Soto's hand, and the Yankees will lose.
Oh my god, dude, that is crazy!
Wow, everybody run to the sports book to bet on that one. So let's go though. I'm really excited to go to the stadium. We haven't even actually picked out a restaurant for Arthur Ave, so I'm kind of thinking Mario's.
I mean, you can't go wrong.
Exactly, you really can't.
You really can't.
I would think maybe some places. Closed, but not really, because Thursday usually it's like Monday through Wednesday. So I think we should have our wide, array of options.
Are you going like seafood, pasta? Are you gonna go meat heavy? Like, what do you
Probably
got?
some type of pasta? I don't know about
Well, we know
seafood.
that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Penne vodka, shrimp. Don't do that. Do something different.
Shrimp,
shrimp fried Diablo. You ever have that?
could. But yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I'm just feeling some type of good pasta, good sauce, maybe a vodka sauce, maybe a special, Tony. Oil and garlic too. Very good.
Garlic and oil is so good. You know what I never understood? People go to like Italian restaurants and like insist on getting like the steak.
I knew you were gonna say that.
And I'm like, dude, come on.
I
man.
never have done that, but I would imagine that would be good. But I would need at least like a penny vodka side.
That's what I mean, dude. I'm sure it
Yeah.
is delicious, but then
Yeah.
like, come on, you need the pasta.
But it would be kind of nice just get the penny vodka and the steak, chop up the steak, put it in
and
there.
the penny
Probably
vodka. It's so good, dude.
good.
Oh my god,
That's like a cheat code.
Are you hungry now?
Yes.
I'm
Are
pretty
you?
hungry. Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah. What do you think you're gonna get cutting with?
No, we actually have still leftovers here.
Oh, nice.
From when I went home, meatloaf.
There you go.
We had some Chinese food, potato croquettes, macaroni
The croquettes.
salad.
And
dude.
what's the deal with the croquette? What is it?
What is it? It's a I guess it could be any shape, but normally it's like a little log of mashed potatoes.
Uh-huh.
They kind of form it and they bread it and they fry it.
But are those the things like if you go to an Italian deli, like they're wrapped in a ball, or that's something different?
No, you're thinking of rice balls, I think.
So what are those? I've never had those. I always just see them there.
Okay, so rice ball is almost the same thing where they mold it into that ball, but it's obviously rice and normally a mixture of ricotta or mozzarella cheese with it.
Okay.
And they bread it and fry it.
It's good?
So good, dude.
Does your mom make those or no?
No, she doesn't make them, but
you have them, get them
Italian
from your
deli, you
local.
get them, and some places too. They also have prosciutto balls, which same thing, but little chopped up
I
pieces of
feel like
prosciutto
that's
inside.
the way to go with the prosciutto and the
So
cheese.
good, yeah,
and the rice.
dude. Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah, no, that does sound really.
Sometimes we used to like get them on Sunday morning for dinner. Around 11, whatever. We go up to the deli, go get a few. My mom, who's making the sauce, you heat them up and you just dip them right in the sauce. It's like, oh my god, dude, so good.
And you know what else is so good? How about my sleeper, 100-1 underdog here at the Travelers? Ricky Fowler, one shot back at -2, only played 5 holes so far. So a puncher's chance.
There we go,
with
dude.
Bob McIntyre and Eric Cole at 2 under. And how about your solo leader, Ashke Bahadia, 3 under through 6? And his odds going into this look like they were 30-1, or they are 30-1 maybe now. I think they do live updates. Anyhow, Tony, I feel like this is a good tournament for him because he can be inconsistent, but since this course is player friendly, I think he's going to have, regardless whether he wins or not, which winning probably unlikely, but I think he's in luck for a top 10 here.
Ashke?
Yeah.
I would say so. I mean, I feel like beginning of the year, he was one of those guys who you were kind of like a dark horse guy. He could be winning or probably in the running. And I'm not really sure what happened to him middle of the season. But regardless, I mean, I think he still has it,
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly.
And he's super young, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's like 22 probably.
He's interesting. It looks like a swift breeze will blow him over.
Yeah. He's like the skinniest person I've ever seen. That's for sure. And then some guys struggling here. Davis Riley, 3 over through 5. Chris Gotterop, 3 over, making the turn. And Nick Taylor also 1 over par. Everyone else is even or under par. Obviously, a lot of guys yet to tee off here, including world number 1 Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
So be interesting to see what type of tournament he has. The heavy betting favorite going into this one, and obviously, with good reason, being what a good player he is, and just I'm sure how much easier this course seems than playing last week at Pinehurst. He's going to get his round underway in a little less than 45 minutes, a 10:30 Eastern tee time for Scotty Scheffler, who is plus 375 to win this tournament.
That's crazy. Plus 375. Also, Kurt Kitayama, my sleeper. I mean, should be
150-1
right now. Yeah.
Wow. Imagine though him spiking and putting those odds down. It's just the winners of these golf tournaments, even with the limited field. I mean, going against 80 guys, like how the hell do you? It's like picking a rabbit out of a hat.
Literally.
But some people do it. And obviously you could live bet it, which kind of gives you more of an indication of how a guy's playing and he's dialed in. So you kind of understand it, from that perspective.
Where do you think you would be on the score sheet right now? Like you say you're making the turn right now.
I feel like I would probably, I would hope to double bogey every hole, which sounds crazy.
Wow.
So I mean, is this par 72? Does it say? Course stats.
Par 70.
So it's 35. So if you figured you doubled 18 over, so you're what, 53?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? 35. I don't know why I was thinking 18 over, like for the turn seemed like it would be more, but I guess that doesn't make sense. It just seems like a lot to be over par. I would think it would be higher than 53 is what I'm saying, but also it's one shot lower because of 35 instead of 36. Normally it's par 72.
Right.
What about you?
I feel like hoping to double bogey every hole would be like.
It's so crazy to say that.
Yeah.
Like it to be like excited about a double bogey.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I could par a hole.
Yeah, it just the problem is there's gonna be a 5 over, a 6 over,
A
and
7,
a
9, Brian,
a 10 over.
Yeah.
On the par 3, hit a couple into the water.
Oh my gosh.
It is a battle. That's for sure. Wow, jinx, huh? So yeah, we'll talk about round 1 tomorrow of the Travelers. Obviously, talk about the Yankee game yesterday. Maybe a little Arthur Ave sprinkled in. We'll have to preview game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Right now,
tomorrow,
first thought.
I mean, it's Panthers all the way.
Close or no?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
What type of score?
Maybe like a 5-1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I honestly probably lean that way as well. As much as I would like to see it, it just seems like everybody's all jacked. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's getting riled. It's McDavid. This would be crazy. All of this stuff. Oh, and then the wind out of the sails.
I think so. It has to be, dude.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way the Panthers aren't going to roll over here.
If the Oilers end up completing the comeback, would you say you would be more or less tight than when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl?
I would say more.
Really? Is it? And it would be because of the team or just because of the comeback?
Both.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
For me, I would think it would be overwhelming the comeback because, like, that's obvally 4 in a row. I mean, what you said? One team did it.
One team did it like 80 years ago.
Yeah.
The Maple Leafs did it, and it would be. I would be so, dude. The Panthers, and just the fact that the Panthers blow it too. Like,
yeah,
how? Like, oh my gosh, they couldn't done that against the Rangers. Going to blow it against the Rangers because I mean, at that point, like, you lose 4 in a row, like that's the Panthers. Like,
yeah,
they blew it, dude. If that happens, like, you're blowing it.
Do you think if Edmonton wins tomorrow that they'll win the series?
No, I don't think so.
Still.
I mean, listen, I know, like you said yesterday, like the game 6, the winner. But at the end of the day, I mean, the Panthers as an organization too they've seen a lot of game 7s against good teams, and they've won. They've even won on the road, So, like, I think, Panthers in those scenarios, they do tend to thrive. Will it be really fucking hard for them? Sure, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care where that game's going to be because it's going to be in Florida, but regardless, I mean, that will be like, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
There's a game 7.
Yeah. So be interesting. We'll see. And I like barely watched last game, but I probably tomorrow I'll be at the Yankee game though, but
back to back.
And then you think they'll do game 7 Sunday? Must be, right? Wow. Imagine if it is Horseshoe.
That would be sick.
That honestly will be. And I feel like almost now, I feel like it's a lock Edmonton wins because that type of stuff at the Horseshoe always happens. And then a playoff at the Travelers.
It would, I guess so, right?
No, remember a couple of years ago, I don't know if you remember this. Yeah. There was like an 8-hole playoff.
No, I don't
like guys just kept missing putts. Stacks was there. And like they cut off the beer sales like 2 hours before the tournament. Everybody's sweating, hot, delirious.
Oh my god!
Yeah. I don't know how the weather always ends up being like that for the Travelers, but just how it is, I guess.
Maybe there'll be a playoff between Kurt Kitayama and Ricky Fowler, dude.
If you had to say though, do you think now, just after what we're talking about, the way things work, that we're going to see Game 7?
No,
it didn't change your mind at all. Just the prospect of it being at the Horseshoe didn't like change your thinking a little bit.
No, it did not.
One has nothing to do with the other, just like jinxes.
Exactly.
Good to hear straight from the horse's mouth, Tony.
Josh, people like to don't hinder yourself. Go eat croquettes and rice balls, dude.
Wait, what does he mean? Like saying that I'm not like having enough on my palate type of thing?
Yeah, I think he was surprised to be like, I never really had it.
Yeah.
I feel like, again, you never know. Arthur Ave restaurant, they could have rice balls for appetizer.
True.
You could try it, dude.
Could sneak that in there. But also, I know maybe you're different, but I don't know. I've always just been someone, whether it's food, sports, whatever. Something works, I like sticking with it.
Right.
Don't need to like deviate too much, but
course.
there are occasional surprises that work out, like their New York Rangers. Because I'm saying that was not expected,
Right.
and I think if we didn't end up linking up, it probably never would have happened. To be honest,
Which is kind of crazy. You'd still be, Lakers
or just NBA and how terrible a finals rating. Awful, they said.
Oh, really?
And then like so many, I think 3 consecutive finals where there wasn't one game that had 14 million viewers or something. So yeah.
What do you think about like them all going down to Miami, dude? Because I didn't realize that they're like the reason why the parade is Friday is because they wanted to go down to Miami first.
I think it's fine. They won the
Really?
title. Like even though I'm not supporting, but it's like they won the title. They deserve to do what they want at the end of the day. I
guess so, but that's kind of bogus, I think, in my eyes.
But also for it on the weekend, not during the week, more people can go.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, man. Like when Ovechkin won the cup, I mean, he partied in DC for like a month.
But also
straight
hockey, respect, different.
Yeah, dude. Like, how do you not keep that in the city, dude? You're an asshole, I think.
Yeah. Well,
I think you're all assholes.
Yeah.
All right.
And I will agree with you on that. Yeah.
All right, good.
But yeah, so interesting stuff. Pumped to get to the stadium. Another great show today. Really appreciate everybody who tuned in and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony Margaret and Jay and Costume, the merch at downtime.tv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.